Welcome to this explainer. All right, let's jump right in. Today we're unpacking something pretty wild called the light flip. We're looking at how this brand new piece of hardware is aiming to basically cure the digital burnout that so many of us, especially millennials and Gen Z, are feeling right now. It's a fascinating little device that completely rejects the modern attention economy. We're talking about a radical alternative to those glowing rectangles we're all glued to 24/7.
So why build a flip phone in the age of AI? Well, to understand why this actually makes sense right now, we gotta look at the modern problem it's trying to solve. Look, we live in an era of infinite scrolling, algorithm-driven news feeds, and just massive screen time fatigue, right? But there is this growing counter-movement. The founders of Light, Joe Hollier and Kai-Wei Tang, noted that they were getting a massive number of requests for a flip phone form factor. There is a huge demand within growing distraction-free communities to just disconnect. People want devices that are fundamentally less smartphone-like.
And that brings us to the Light Flip, from the Brooklyn-based minimalist phone maker Light. It is a decidedly retro device. Built with the durable IP54 rated plastic body, it comes in 6 distinct, really beautiful colors, which is a super fun departure from their older black-only models. It totally calls to mind the tech of yesteryear, but updates the whole aesthetic for today.
But honestly, what's really interesting here is what's missing. Unlike the modern foldables you see from Samsung or Motorola, there is no distracting external screen when the device is closed. None. You just have this clean exterior and a simple notification light. The whole design philosophy is built around encouraging intentional usage. By removing that outer display, the Light Flip literally physically blocks the habit of constantly checking your phone. It's kind of like a built-in digital detox.
And when you open it up, you get this striking mashup of the Light Phone 3 and some serious old-school tech. You're looking at a 2.8-inch matte OLED display that is completely non-interactive. Yep, no touch gestures allowed. Instead, you navigate using a tactile 12-button T9 keypad. That alone is going to trigger some intense nostalgia for anyone who grew up texting on one of those or using a landline. It also features 3 function buttons and a classic 4-way directional D-pad to move your cursor around.
So the crucial thing to grasp here is the contrast. When we compare this to something like a modern Razr or Galaxy Flip, we see that the Light Flip's true value is actually defined by its deliberate hardware constraints. The lack of a touchscreen, the absence of an outer display, no endless apps, these aren't missing features. They are the core features. The Light Flip basically swaps out endless distraction for pure, intentional utility.
Now, don't let the retro plastic shell fool you into thinking it's dumb. Under the hood, it's actually highly capable. It packs a modern MediaTek chipset, 6 gigs of RAM, and full 5G connectivity. Because, a phone still needs to be fast and reliable. And that 50-megapixel camera on the back, that means you can still capture really beautiful, crisp memories of your life. You just won't be tempted to immediately post them on social media. It also comes with 128 gigabytes of storage, a standard USB-C port, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and a removable battery. But staying true to their vision, they purposefully left out things like NFC, so no tap to pay. The whole idea is to keep your real-world interactions grounded.
The brain running this whole thing is Light OS. This custom software takes minimalism to the extreme by stripping away the attention economy entirely. You are not going to find a single social media app here. No news feeds to doom scroll through, and absolutely no algorithms fighting for your dopamine. It is designed from the ground up to respect your time and your attention.
In practice, this means the interface relies entirely on simple, elegant lists. We're talking stark white text on a deep black background. There are no red notification badges screaming at you, just essential tools. Things like an alarm, your notes, a calendar, and tools for music and podcasts. It's exactly what you need to function in the modern day and absolutely nothing more.
Of course, you still need to actually navigate the real world. So to make sure it remains a capable tool, Light is rolling out an open software development kit, an SDK, this fall. This is going to make it super easy to adapt third-party utilities, like maps and directions, to this non-touch cursor-based interface. It perfectly expands what the phone can do without suddenly opening the floodgates to all those distracting apps.
Now, making the jump to a device like this can obviously feel a little intimidating. Light totally gets that. That's why they're offering what they call the Flip Your Life Transition Program. It's designed to actively help users break their long-standing smartphone dependency. They're basically positioning this as either a secondary weekend phone for when you just want to leave your smart device at home, or as a full-time replacement for the truly committed.
If you're ready to take the plunge, you can purchase the device outright for a very accessible $299. When you compare that to the $1,000 plus price tags of modern flagship smartphones, it makes the barrier to entry for digital minimalism surprisingly low.
Alternatively, for the first time, Lite is offering a bundle. You can get the phone tied to a 24-month service plan at $39 a month. This includes unlimited talk and text plus 1 GB of data. Now, I know 1 GB sounds tiny right now, but remember the whole philosophy here. That is plenty of data for a device meant to be used sparingly. They do offer a $69 unlimited plan, but they really only recommend that if you plan on heavily using the phone's 5G connection as a mobile hotspot.
Okay, but here is the ultimate test of your new slow tech patience. You can pre-order the device right now, but it isn't expected to actually ship until April of 2027. Yep, you heard that right, 2027. It's a massive wait, for sure. But honestly, it's perhaps a fitting initiation into the slow tech lifestyle, especially for such a highly specialized device coming from a small, independent manufacturer like Lite.
So as you consider that long wait ahead, you really have to ask yourself, is the wait for true disconnection worth it? Could committing to this extreme level of minimalism be the radical cure you need for your digital fatigue? Would you trade your endless scroll for a T9 keypad today? It's definitely a powerful thought to chew on as we navigate our increasingly connected world. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hopefully it shed a little bit of light on the future of disconnection.